Back on the Sportsmax Zone, Jamaica's top female powerlifter Sami Depass is charting her path to represent the country at the International Powerlifting Federation IPF Championship that will be staged in Valletta, Malta in June. Depass is a two-time Jamaica national champion, and in the last year alone she broke 3 NAPF records in the women's 76 kilogram weight class for squat, deadlift and total. Sami has high hopes for this year's IPF champs, but she needs our support to help make this dream a reality. She joins us now. Welcome to the Sportsmax Zone, Sami. Just a couple of months for this big assignment. I know you're trying to put funds in place for it, but physically, how ready are you?
I'm feeling very ready. Unfortunately, you never know what is going to be there on the day. You just do your absolute best to prepare for it. So, you know, I'm just coming from the gym before I came here, and you just show up and do your best on the day and hope that your squat, bench and deadlift is you can put up a good enough total that you are within the top 3. And actually this will be the first time that I compete that I don't know for sure that I'm gonna come first.
Wow. Huge statement there. Now we see your national records and the liftings that you've been putting on domestically, but how are these scores measuring up to international levels?
So currently I am top 25 in the world in my weight class. However, the IPF Classic World Championships is the biggest raw championship for this sport, and that means that honestly going into it I have no idea where I will place. If I come 5th, I would jump for joy if I came 5th, honestly. Usually, as I made in the statement before, when I went into the Panama meet, we are able to see where we are in terms of where other athletes have squat, bench and deadlift and what their total is, and I was ranking way ahead of them. So when I went to it, I said to myself, you know what, I can win this easily. And so said, so done. However, this meet now, as the nominations come in, we're still in the preliminary nomination phase. As those come in more and more, I'm realizing that, my numbers, they just keep going down and down and down, which for me is such a privilege because it is a challenge and you rise to the occasion. When you know you are going to win, it's almost as if it takes a little bit away from the win. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, and of course you're talking about the North American Regional Powerlifting Championships in Panama that you won, one of your several victories, of course. I'm very interested to find out, how did you develop a love for powerlifting?
Powerlifting. So I was actually in university. I went to Texas A&M for 2 years and I was feeling very down, very depressed. You know, my mental health wasn't good at the time. You're in a sea of people that you don't really know, you're in a new place, and I decided to go to the gym. Bear in mind, I had no idea what I was doing, and I said, oh wait, I'm kind of strong. And from then I found a coach the year after, and it just took off. I realized that I can actually do something with this. I can actually, I did so many sports growing up and none of them I was any good at, probably because I didn't have the discipline at the time. And I feel like as you get older, you get more disciplined. And powerlifting came into my life at the right time for me to practice that discipline. And it just went from there.
How long ago was this?
This was 2019. So I've only been competitively, I did my first competitive powerlifting meet in 2019.
That was the same year that you actually started.
Yep.
Were you surprised at your rise, how quickly you became good at this?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure some people can relate to this, but when you're not really good at anything and all of a sudden you're just boops and good, you're like, hold on, this is me? So I used to try to be a runner. And I don't know if you know anything about running, but you either have it or you don't have it. And I definitely never have it. So I was trying to run. I was actually trying to run a half marathon and I realized, let me just...
You were what?
Yeah, let me just hang this up because this is not for me. And you know, it actually can be very hurtful when you realize that you're not very good at things that you'd like to be good at.
Yeah.
I've come last so many times in my life, and coming first was a feeling that I was like, oh my goodness, I need to keep this up.
Yeah.
So it made me work harder and harder, and it renewed that sense of discipline that, I can actually be great at something. I can leave a legacy behind. I can be 5 times Jamaican national champion. I can do this however long. I can keep this up, keep my strength up, keep my discipline up. I can keep this going.
Yeah, the one thing I can tell you, the worst part of realizing that you're not as good at something as you would like to be is when they put it on Instagram, but that's a whole different story.
Trust me now. I have some pictures. I'm like, please, somebody delete this. Don't make them see this.
I got you totally. So here we are now. In the year of the World Championships, you're on the verge of something that is clearly special from a Jamaican standpoint, from a Caribbean standpoint as well. Do you get the feeling that Jamaica, because of course specifically you're from here, grasps exactly what you are on the verge of and exactly how well you have done in the last 4 years?
Truthfully, no. Let me tell you why. We have not, as an organization, so Jamaica is governed by NPAJ, which is the National Powerlifting Association of Jamaica. That is our only governing body for powerlifting. When we set out to go to Panama, when we set out to hold our nationals, we do not get the support from corporate that is required for us to be as successful as possible. It's almost like we have to beg for support, right? Yeah. And this is no different than the fact that I have to go out of my way as a national athlete to have a GoFundMe, right? Yeah. I've been approached in the gym so many times that I'm begging, right? Yeah. And that, it can feel very shameful, right? Yeah. Like you as an athlete are going out to represent your country and somebody comes up to you and tells you that you're begging, right? Because of the GoFundMe.
It hurts, doesn't it?
It does. It feels as if it's all of your hard work is for nothing. It's disheartening. I kill up myself in the gym 4, 5, 6 times a week, and for what? For people to look at me and tell me, say, oh, well, we won't be supporting you because XYZ. So I don't think that Jamaica really takes powerlifting as seriously as it should. Yeah. The more seriously we take it, the more likely young adults are to get involved with it. Strength training is immeasurable in your health. Like there's nothing better for your bone density, for your muscle growth. And the more we get people involved in saying that, oh, you can actually be successful in Jamaica from this, I think that it would do wonders for our society.
How is the GoFundMe going?
Well, thanks for asking. Actually, just before I came in here, somebody donated another $100. So we are at $7,500. Our goal is $8,000. So we are almost there.
Oh, wow. That is quite amazing, isn't it?
Trust me, the support from my followers on Instagram, from people who know of me, from people who have seen me on TVJ, from people who have talked to me in the gym, in real life, it has been, words cannot express how grateful I am that people believe in me, that they support me. All if corporate look at me and say, oh, we're not going to help her. Well, guess what? My people look on them and say, oh, well, fine. We'll do the job.
Yeah. But you know that when you attain international stardom, these people will now come to the doorstep and embrace you. That's just how life is.
Even if they don't, though, yes, it will still have been worth the journey, and it will still be worth it. Even if other people look on you and say, you're not enough, you're not doing enough, you're still worth it. You're still deserving of showing up for yourself even when other people don't, right? Yeah. So if corporate never supports powerlifting in Jamaica, if they never help the initiative for us to go out and keep doing these meets, the only way to get better at competing is to compete. Yeah. It's a completely different set of rules, and it's a completely different feel than just competing in the gym.
Yeah, I see where the Ghanis seem to be high on powerlifting as well. I see a lot of stories coming out of Ghana re-powerlifting. So from a Caribbean perspective, you are aware of the Jamaican embracing or non-embracing of the sport overall. But how is the region accepting powerlifting?
As I said previously, I really think that powerlifting is getting bigger and bigger.
Yes.
And that obviously includes
the rest of the Caribbean.
the rest of the Caribbean. So, for example, when we went to Panama, we were immersed in like a Caribbean party. It was amazing. Belize, which I don't know if you've heard any Belizeans recently, but them sound just like us. So the whole way I look around like this, like, oh my goodness, why on the sound like us for? Right? The Panamanians also kind of sounded a little similar to us. And then there were a few other, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic. I have to shout out my Dom Rep people.
Yes.
They were amazingly supportive. Somebody actually lent me their shoes to deadlifting. Like, that is the powerlifting community. Helpful, showing up for one another, shouting, oh my God, congrats, right? All if y'all beat them still a cheer you on.
Oh boy.
And that is just, it's out of this world, that feeling.
It sounds fantastic. How easily can you powerlift me?
How much you weigh?
I checked today, 181.
That's it? Come on. I deadlift
One
over
hand.
480
First of all,
pounds,
one hand,
okay?
one hand.
First of all,
Ricardo.
my ego is bruised, right?
Oh, come
like when
on.
you say it like that, like you could cushion the blow.
You know, say, some man in the gym stop lift when me come, you know. Them say, oh, we have to pack up quick. And them go to the next side. Them say, oh no, because I warm up with some of their weights, you know. And me
Wow.
say, oh, just left that there. Me start with that. And
So
them say,
they're
wow.
intimidated.
Yeah.
Yes, some of them are very supportive. Sometimes I get those rude comments. That's, you know, why am I doing this? Why am I want to look so tough? You know, the list goes
But you don't
on.
look tough at all.
Good thing you don't see my traps in this, but it's, trust me, women in sports in Jamaica, it's a lot of us get the rep of being tough or, you know, too muscular, or you shouldn't do certain things.
Yes.
And you just have to persevere, because you can't listen to what everybody else is saying. You just have to focus on being an amazing athlete, making our country proud. And sometimes that looks like ignoring people who have nothing good to say.
Yeah, and you are an amazing athlete.
Oh,
There is
thank
no
you.
doubt about that.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Facts.
Yes. All right. Well, Sami Depass is getting ready for the international competition coming up in June in Malta, and she has almost acquired the funds needed to go to the event, and she's confident that she will represent Jamaica and the Caribbean very, very well. Thanks, Sami, for dropping by, and we wish you all the best. We'll be monitoring the next couple of months as you get ready for the meet. Back with more on The Zone after this.
Yeah.
Stay with Sportsmax on YouTube and follow us on all social pages for updates, news and entertainment.